Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over this article by Citron Research, okay? And they're actually discussing a stock that I talked about on my channel just about a week ago, called STPK Energy, which is going to reverse merge with STEM, and it's pretty much a leading AI-driven energy storage solution, and they have a price target on this company as $100 per share. Okay, and right now the stock is trading at $31 a share, and I didn't buy in yet, but again, I'm so close to hitting that buy button. Of course, the markets are closed today, but once the markets open tomorrow, I might have to buy me a few shares of STPK Energy. Okay, because what they're doing is revolutionary. All right, so let's go through this article and then I'll provide some evidence to the points that they're saying. And I just want to present this article because honestly, they say much better than I could ever say it. And I missed out on this article, but it was published January 11th. But I still think that some people don't know about this article. So I just wanted to bring it to your attention, guys. Okay, so first off, they go ahead and they start saying that when Citron reversed its opinion on Tesla from short to long 2 years ago, when the stock was at $52, adjusted for splits, that would have been some nice returns there, is when we recognize that this is not just a car company, but rather Tesla is going to lead the world in new energy, right? What they're talking about here is energy storage, solar panel solutions, just like the green revolution, okay? But unlike electric cars, whose biggest problem is charging and range as electric gets used immediately, the transformation to a greater dependence on batteries is going to depend on the storage and distribution of electricity. Okay, and here, of course, one of the main factors that's helping the green energy revolution is the $2 trillion plan by Biden for the green revolution. And since they have Senate majority, although it's slight Senate majority, hopefully they'll actually be able to put this into place and actually be able to pass all these bills. Okay, so the ESG story and the 2 trillion green revolution is underway in full force, and investors must look for real disruptive companies with leading positions where Tesla was 2 years ago. Okay, and then they introduced STEM, which is again trading under the ticker symbol STPK, STPK Energy. And as the world moves away from carbon to wind and solar power, smart storage of clean power is more important than ever. The global energy storage market represents a $1.2 trillion opportunity and is expected to increase by 25 times by 2030. All right, without smart storage, the build out of new renewable generation is not possible. Since 2019, 90% of grid internet connection requests have been for renewables and for storage. California has already mandated that all new vehicles be carbon-free by 2035 and its entire power grid be carbon-free by 2045. Okay, so they believe that STPK Energy, and so do I, stands to benefit the most from this booming secular trend. Okay, so then they go over why their price target is 100. I don't necessarily have a price target for STPK, but I do believe that right now STPK could be positioned at over $100. Okay, and I'll go over this valuation currently. Even though the stock has decreased by 12%, it's still relatively expensive. But again, if you have such investor enthusiasm and such optimism, I believe it could easily go over $100, and you could make a quick profit or choose to hold long term. Okay, but we're gonna go over this $1.5 billion market cap right now for STPK Energy. Okay, because it is a little suspect, but again, it has room to grow. Okay, apparently by this $100 price target. So last week, billionaire tech investor Chamath, I'm not going to try to pronounce that, was interviewed about his views on Tesla and Elon Musk on CNBC. He said he built a great car company, and somewhere along the way, about 5 to 6 years ago, what I thought he was building was an energy company. Okay, so the reality is that Tesla is a distributed energy business. A lot of shorts fail to recognize that. They're figuring out how to harness energy, how to store it, and then how to use it in a way to allow humans to be productive. Okay, cars are a manifestation, but solar panels are as well. Power walls are as well. Okay, so again, he's a very, very famed investor. He has like 5 or 6 different SPACs to his name. So feel free to look up Chamath, very, very important figure in this new green revolution. Okay, so Tesla's 830 billion market cap is due to the company figuring out how to harness energy, how to store it, and they believe STPK is beyond mispriced at just 3 billion, giving it the leading AI-powered energy storage system and is dominating Tesla at this game. Right now, the STPK's valuation is more like 5.6 billion based on my calculation. I'll go over the calculations later, but I just want to go over this first. So StarPeak is an 800-pound gorilla in the market. In 2019, STEM installed 3 times the energy storage and its largest competitor in California, which is the largest energy market in the US. Okay, and here you can pause that. What I actually found on their investor presentation was right here, where storage capacity commissioned in megawatts. STEM was leading it here as the second most best competitor was Tesla. And so, I mean, it is by far leading the industry, but, Tesla isn't that far behind. Okay. So, 800-pound gorilla in the market, I think that's a bit overstated. But here, I guess they're not looking at car companies. They're just looking at other energy companies. Okay. And energy storage companies. All right. And so, again, let's go over the price here. So it's saying StarPeak is beyond mispriced at 3 billion. Still, StarPeak is mispriced at 5.6 billion, but let me just go over my calculations. Okay, so let me know if any of this is wrong. Okay, so right now we can see the offering size of StarPeak is let's just say 400 million, with a pipe size of 225 million, and so a pro forma equity value of 1.4 billion. Okay, so if it's a 1.4 billion pro forma equity value, and StarPeak Energy consists of 400 million of cash, and right now it's valued at, instead of 400 million, 1.5 billion. That actually represents, when you divide those two figures, a 5.6 billion valuation. Okay, and actually a 400 million in StarPeak Energy, if they're going to roll over their shares, that actually represents a 28% dominance position of the StarPeak Energy investors. So if you invest in StarPeak Energy now, that means you'll be getting 28% of the overall shares of the company. Okay, based on this, 1.4 billion divided by 400 million of the proposed SPAC size. Okay, so let me know if any of these calculations are wrong. But I believe right now, based on these valuations, StarPeak Energy, or STEM, is actually valued at 5.6 billion. But I mean, this was written like a week ago, so not like 3 billion. But still, it represents a huge opportunity. Okay. And again, $100 is far off, and at least I really like this nice downtrend of like 12%, because it makes me more confident as an investor to invest at a lower price. Okay. So it says that next thing is StarPeak Energy is a market-leading AI platform based on its software Athena. And so this empowers customers and partners to optimize energy usage by automatically switching between battery power, on-site generation, and grid power. Now, again, this is something that I talked about. This is similar to what Nuve is trying to do, although they don't have an AI intelligence unit like STEM does. And pretty much what it's trying to do is stabilize the usage of battery power. So pretty much it's trying to perform energy arbitrage, sell back to the grid when the price is high, and charge up the cars and batteries when the price of electricity is lower. Okay, so we believe it is a foregone conclusion that smart energy storage will be a critical component of Biden's $2 trillion green plan, as more efficient storage and use of power will only further drive adoption of renewable energy generation. And so, by operating the world's largest network of energy storage systems powered by the company's Athena AI platform, StarPeak couldn't be better positioned. It has over 900 systems operating and contracted currently in 200 plus cities. And again, and they have a backlog of orders. And one really important thing, if we go here, is, of course, as cumulative installs grow of battery storage, Athena, which is the AI network, becomes more intelligent in creating more value and a larger moat. And that's something that I forgot to mention in my last video. And this is what they picked up on. So StarPeak's moat will only grow larger with time. As cumulative installs grow, Athena becomes more intelligent, creating further value and larger barriers to entry for competitors. Okay, this is similar to Tesla, what they're doing with their autonomous driving network. As more miles are driven by Teslas, Tesla send that information back to headquarters, and they integrate that information to make the AI platform that's driving to allow Teslas to self-drive become even more and more efficient. Okay, and they talk about top-notch management. John Carrington, CEO. And he was previously an executive vice president at First Solar, where he grew the company's revenue from 400 million to 2 billion. And then prior to that, he was the chief marketing officer at General Electric. And so, kind of funny here. Simply put, this is not some Nikola BS. The management team at StarPeak is as high quality as they come in the ESG sector. and they talk about how they compare it to QuantumScape, which right now has, I believe, about like a 50 billion valuation. Sorry, a 25 billion valuation today. But they liken it to that QuantumScape is nothing more than a science project right now with no revenue until 2024, 2025. Again, when I look at SPACs, I try to invest in companies that have some sort of revenue. All right, and StarPeak operates in a total addressable market that is 3 times larger than that of QuantumScape and already has a 75% market share in California, which is the largest energy market in the US. And it has big dog customers, including Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Google, and Walmart. So pretty much all of FANG there. And valuation, they're, again, you can pause this and go over their valuation, but what they're saying is total addressable market here is 1.2 trillion for STEM compared to 450 billion for QuantumScape. ChargePoint is an electric battery charging station. I'm not sure what Luminaire is. And they say that the actual enterprise value to 2025 projected revenue is actually the lowest for STEM, okay, which presents a very attractive valuation. Of course, it's a bit higher now because the stock surged by so much, but it still presents an attractive valuation according to Citron Research. Okay, so again, you can pause this and go over this. Therefore, it's easy to see why StarPeak could power its way materially higher than $100. All right, and here again, you can pause this and go over their calculations there. So as ESG ETF buying is set to explode, StarPeak stands out from many other ESG junk companies that are hitting the market today. They're saying it's a real company with tremendous growth potential, mainly because, again, now it's part of the leader in these storage capacity with the AI solution Athena. And I mean, that's all the hype these days too, right? So you have to be careful when investing into the hype. But again, StarPeak does look like one of these companies with a very respectable management, which is very, very important to note. As we can see in the Nikola case, where management was just like kind of all over the place, they didn't really have much expertise in the field, and look where Nikola is now. Okay, and so it's not often that you get the opportunity to invest in a disruptive market leader with a more than 1 trillion addressable market with industry-leading tech at a 3 billion valuation. See you at over $100. Okay, so very, very interesting Citron Research article there, and I think it just goes over some of the main points and why I'm so bullish on StarPeak Energy. One thing that I like to look at is already revenue, and bookings are up, but if you were actually looking at just like solid revenue, they have 33 million of revenue for projected for the full year of 2020, which is nice that it's nice to see that they have revenue, and part of that is recurring revenue, which is also really nice to see. Their gross margins are expected to be 12% in 2020 and 2025 to grow to 38%. So again, more revenue is going to go straight to that bottom line, which again, I really like. And revenue is expected to grow, by 300% for 2021. Okay, and even again, another 115% to 315 million in 2022. All right, so these are things that you have to look at when investing. Know that it might be a risky investment and you might lose money short term, but if you're long, you should be able to make quite a bit of money off of investments like this. Okay, so I just wanted to bring this to your attention. Again, I might be buying this as soon as market opens on Monday. Let me know what you're doing with StarPeak Energy, if you own any shares and how many shares you do own, and what you think of Citron Research article right here that I just went through. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video in its entirety. If you're here, be sure to smash the thumbs up and hit subscribe if you haven't already. Definitely helps out the channel. We're on to growing. We're already at 1,050 subscribers. So every view and every subscription helps. Again, thank you so much for all the support. It's been a tremendous journey, and I'll see you in the next video.